Hi, I'm Chef Raphael and welcome to another episode of Baking with Chef Raphael. Today I'll show you how to make an orange chiffon cake. It's a delicious cake that is soft and crumbly and I know you'll enjoy it. Let's get started. So if you're new to the show, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you're notified whenever I have a new recipe out. This show is all about making baking fun at home. Now for today's ingredients, we have baking powder, sugar. This is 200 grams of sugar. We also have a small amount of sugar that I'll mix with the egg white, vanilla essence, zest from the orange. This is about 2 oranges. And then from the same oranges that you get the zest from, squeeze orange juice, which is about half a cup. The half a cup will actually be from about the size of 2 oranges. We have all-purpose flour. We have egg whites. This is 8 egg whites, but I have 7 egg yolks. And we'll also be using some cooking oil. Now, we'll start with the dry ingredients. So the flour, we'll sift it. And then to this we'll add the sugar, the baking powder. We are doing 2 teaspoons, the orange zest, and to this we'll now add the wet ingredients, which is the egg yolks. We'll add half a cup of cooking oil, and here I'm using a flavorless vegetable oil. And then to this I'll also add the orange juice. I also have the vanilla essence, so I'll also add it at this stage. So the mixture here is a little bit thick. So just make sure you mix it completely until no flour is visible. Set it aside. Now for the egg white, the whole idea is make sure that it's at room temperature. Remember we said is 8 egg whites from 8 eggs, and then the yolks are actually 7. So now, as you can see, it's actually puffed up and aerated. It's fully aerated. When you're using an electric mixer, to be honest, it makes it easier and faster. It's at this stage that you'll add the sugar to make it more stiff. So how you know that the egg white is ready is that, in fact, when you haven't turned the bowl upside down, it will not pour. So right now we will introduce the egg white into the cake one, and you start by adding, let's say, about 3 spoons. The first stage is to gently mix into the cake batter. You don't add the whole mixture at once. You start with a small amount. The folding action is you get in. You're not going to use a whisk, because when you use a whisk, what will happen? As you mix it rapidly, it will deflate the egg white. And as you can see now, the cake mixture is becoming lighter. And then the final amount. So the mixture is ready when you don't see any white streaks of the egg white. Now the next stage is actually putting it in our baking tin. Now you can use a round or a square baking tin that you have, but today I want to show you how to make using a baking tin like this. You probably have seen it in a supermarket, and it's the cake that usually has a hole at the center. So, and then it will actually get this design when it's fully baked. It's actually hard to put a baking a grease-proof paper on the bottom. That's why if you can get a non-stick cooking spray, it makes your life easier. And this one is the one that you can use for cooking. Let's say you're spraying on the pan, or if you want to grill something, spray on the pan and then or bake like this. It will take about 1 hour, 55 to 1 hour for this to be fully cooked. But you also know it's cooked when it's spongy when you press, and it's nicely browned, and it actually even frees itself from the sides of the baking tin. So the cake is done, and as you can see, the nice design it has, and the hole at the center. Now removing it from this tin is, you need to place it upside down like this on top of a glass and let it literally hang like that until it cools down completely. The idea is to let the cake like stretch while it's cooling, because when you place it like this, the cake will actually tend to go down. And now we'll get on the inside of the cake. It's actually a very soft cake. That's how it looks on the inside. See, it's very aerated, and this is because of the egg white. You can see the small specks of orange zest. You can do a glaze of orange juice and icing sugar and then sprinkle it on top. That's another way of finishing it. I hope you've learned something. The orange chiffon cake is today's recipe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you're notified whenever I have a new recipe, and follow me on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Goodbye.